Hey governors, I'm not addicted to social media because I'm addicted to other things. That's right, I'm addicted to other apps on my phone, like Uber. Yeah, I just love getting rides from complete strangers. Maybe this time I'll get murdered. So, social media, something we all use every once in a while. It seems like most people with access to the internet are obsessed with at least one or two social media platforms, or at least I hang out with so many people who are obsessed with social media that I believe that's true. And I assume you guys are the same way because there's no way you'll find my channel without being obsessed with social media platforms like YouTube. I decided that if I was going to be so addicted to social media, I might as well get something out of it, so why not milk my obsession for views? That's basically what I do in every other rant video, so this isn't much different. I don't believe I need to explain what social media is because of that, so I won't waste your time with an explanation of something you already know well about. There's the famous social media platforms like Snapchat or TikTok, and then there's platforms like WeChat that nobody knows or cares about. I will try to talk about a decent amount of social media platforms in this video, but I obviously can't talk about every single one to ever exist. I don't think anybody would want me to talk extensively about platforms like Lermy Ren or Official being fair. So without further ado, let's talk about social media. I guess the best place to start would be with two popular ones I don't really have much to say on. So I guess I'll do both Instagram and Snapchat at the same time, mainly because I have the same things to say about both of them. Instagram and Snapchat are very similar. Both basically all about photos. Only difference is that on one, your photos get forgotten about in 24 hours metaphorically, while on the other one, they get forgotten in 24 hours literally. But honestly, they sort of feel like the opposite of each other with how much I use them. It feels like I check Instagram once every 2 years, while I use Snapchat every day. Honestly, I use Snapchat to post about random stuff I want to rant about, which is why I do use it every day. Which is also exactly what I use this YouTube channel to do, just with videos people willingly watch on like Snapchat where they're sort of just forced to look at my rants. With Instagram, it's mainly just used by me and other people to post about random things that happen in life. That is also partly how I use Snap, so maybe these two social media platforms are more similar than we thought. But honestly, these two platforms aren't the most interesting social media platforms in my opinion. I don't know what else you really want me to say about them. The only thing left I think I could really talk about are all the ads that are on these two platforms. But that could really be said for any social media platform, so I guess I can't really be mad at Instagram or Snapchat specifically about that. Besides, I know people will make fun of YouTube for this, but ironically in my experience, Instagram had it way worse when it came to certain ads that maybe aren't the most family friendly. What, were you expecting me to show you one of them? I'm not that kind of channel, come on! Still, I honestly don't have that much to add to these platforms besides what I already talked about. From my experience, Instagram and Snapchat aren't the most interesting social media platforms, honestly. But speaking of boring, why not talk about the social media platform people actually associate with being boring? You know where we're going with this, that being Facebook. For a social media platform known for being dead and full of old people, I sure am decently active on it, all things considered. Crap, did I just accidentally call myself old? Still, Facebook, we all know what it is. The social media platform made by Mark Zuckerberg, the less cool version of Shihiro Fujisaki. I mean, Shihiro hid details about themselves, just like how Mark Zuckerberg hides the fact that he's actually a lizard. Still, I think everybody knows what Facebook is, even if you haven't been on it in 15 years. It's probably best known as the place you will see many memes and AI-generated dog videos today, but it's apparently supposed to be there to check up on other people. Yeah, let's all be honest, that's not what it's used for today. I mean, I don't even know the last time I used Facebook for checking up on other people. I don't know the last time I checked up on my mom. I still live in her basement, why do I need an app? For real, Facebook is a fine app, I guess. I'm just not interested or entirely sure what the point of it anymore honestly is. I mean, come on Facebook, you need to pick a lane between sweet family photos and tricking my grandmother with another AI-generated video of rabbits jumping on trampolines. I still one day want to make a full video about AI generation, and if I ever do, I could probably just come to Facebook to add another hour worth of videos to potentially talk about in that. And speaking of things I can use Facebook to talk about, I would like to address that I sadly cannot talk about my personal experience with the Facebook Marketplace. I have never bought anything from the Facebook Marketplace, nor do I ever plan on doing so, but from what I've heard about it, it's an insane place honestly. I wish I had more time with the Facebook Marketplace honestly, because just like AI generated videos, I would have a field day with content I would get from that. But still, I guess Facebook is fine. I don't know what else you wanted me to say really about it besides AI slop. As soon as I finished saying that, I did forget about one thing I forgot to mention on Facebook, which is politics. In my experience, Facebook has a reputation for having politics get shoved down your throat everywhere you look, so you may be wondering why I didn't at least vaguely mention them in that section. Well, that's surprisingly not even because of me not wanting to get political in a video. That's because personally, I really associate annoying politics with Twitter. Yes, I know it's called X now, but I'd rather get exterminated, haha, get it, than actually refer to Twitter as X. So I am calling the platform Twitter for the rest of the video, and you're just gonna have to deal with it, Musk. You know your career is bad when not even owning Twitter is the worst part about it. So anyways, we all know what Twitter is, right? It's the site where you can complain about whatever you want for everybody to see, as long as it's under 280 characters. This could range from funny jokes to serious real-world issues to just staring images I don't think I could display on YouTube. And you know what? While I'm not at all trying to say that Twitter isn't toxic, it's toxic enough for you to think that Twitter headquarters is located at Chernobyl, I will say that Twitter is at least an interesting platform. You could see a meme relating to Sonic the Hedgehog right next to a tweet calling you a slur. I wish that wasn't based off a real-world experience I had on Twitter. Also, yes, please make sure to follow me on Twitter after watching this video. I promise I don't retweet that many pictures of Noel, Holiday, or Deer. But for real, yeah, while Twitter isn't at all perfect, it sure is interesting. I remember when everybody tried migrating to Blue Sky, but people got bored of it quickly because while yes, it is significantly calmer than Twitter, that ruined the fun of it. It's like removing the 12-year-olds that call you the N-word while playing Call of Duty Online. While yes, that is less obnoxious, it is less fun too. Also yes, that's really all I have to say about Blue Sky. That's a less fun Twitter. But still, even though Twitter is a tiny taste of what hell feels like, I'll still say it's fine. But still, if it wasn't so toxic, we wouldn't have gotten things like the banger song that's Twitter for Android by Daxtrums. So maybe it is a bit worth it. And one other thing that keeps me interested in Twitter is how fast some things become trends for a day on there. Yes, this is slightly true for every social media platform, but I feel like Twitter demonstrates that perfectly. The week I started planning this video out, it was the week that everybody started hating on Daniel Tiger, and as I currently write this, is people bashing the Stranger Things finale. By the time I get this video out, I'm sure it's going to be something else. Still, if you want to see millions of people switch up topics they're interested in somehow faster than me, then Twitter is the place for you. Especially if you want to feel like a piece of garbage while doing so. Still, my final statement is just to follow me on Twitter. Now we're in a part of the video where I'm not entirely sure if the platforms I'm going to talk about count as social media. The things I'm going to talk about have a different vibe from apps like Snapchat and Twitter, but I guess they still count. Besides, I don't know when else we'll be able to talk about these things outside of their own videos, which I really don't plan on doing, so here we are. But starting off, let's talk about Discord. You know, the place where you can send your best bud a funny video in one chat, and then get sexually harassed in another. Discord is an instant message app where you can send a message to anybody across the world. Discord acts like it's solely for gamers, but nobody cares what Discord thinks. It's your standard platform for talking, but I would say it does it the best, which is why it remains so popular. I mean, I don't think anybody is arguing that Clip is better than Discord, so Discord probably did something correct. If you do count Discord as a social media platform, I think it admittedly is the one I use the most besides YouTube or Snapchat. I don't think it's that hard to see why, considering that Discord is a communication platform, and I'm a loser who's desperate for attention, so it does make sense. Still, I'll say that Discord is pretty good, besides some people on it, which isn't necessarily Discord's fault. Yeah, I may be traumatized and I've seen more private parts from perverts on this site than the Playboy Mansion, but it isn't the $1 Million Company fault. I'm just thankful that Discord fills my desire of changing my profile picture every other minute just to whatever I'm interested in that week. Anybody that has me on Discord knows I change my profile picture every other day, basically. My profile pictures normally go from characters like Noel Holiday from Deltarune, Chihiro Fujisaki from Danganronpa, Haruhi Fujisaka from Oran High School Host Club, and some other characters. Maybe those comparisons to YouTube and Snapchat earlier were more real than we thought, since I use Discord to spread what other random things I'm into. But for real, Discord really does one thing and does that one thing well, which I guess is all I can really ask for. Oh hey, I was able to do this entire section without referencing My Little Pony! Wait, god dang it. And hey, since we're talking about social media platforms with people who sometimes make me want to die, how about we talk about a platform that actually did die? That being Vine. I was at one point considering making a whole video solely about Vine, mainly so I could play other people's work and pretend that makes me funny as if my name was Sniper Wolf, but I honestly just lost interest and didn't end up making it. I also had a poll to see if you guys would rather me talk about Vine in its own video or this one, but talking about it here won, so I guess here we go. And hey, thank Peck I saved the Google Doc for when I was considering making a full video about Vine. Come on, I can't let all that time writing unfunny jokes go to waste. But still, I can't believe I probably have to explain what Vine is to some people, so excuse me for a couple seconds. People do know what some Vines are. Road Work Ahead and Two Bros Chilling in a Hot Tub are still classics to this day, but I may need to explain what Vine as a platform is to some people. Vine was a video hosting platform like YouTube, but the gimmick of the site was that everybody could only upload 6-second videos. Yeah, so instead of being able to make long-form videos like some losers might, you're confined to the amount of seconds comparable to the amount of seconds I felt real joy in my lifetime. But still, this was honestly a cool concept back in the day because it required people to be creative with what they wanted to put out by forcing them to limit themselves. Yeah, yet again, I don't know anybody who needs a significant amount of time to talk about relatively simple things. But this was a goldmine of a time for memes. I mentioned 2 Vines earlier, but we still have many great ones such as "Look at all those chickens, they were roommates. When life gives you lemons." And probably my personal favorite, "I couldn't draw my croissant." It was a great time, especially for people who would just re-upload Vines onto YouTube reviews and not give proper credit to the actual creators. But all good things have to come to an end eventually, and Vine was no exception. In January of 2017, Vine shut down. There were a couple reasons on why Vine shut down, but all that really matters is that it did. But the surprising good news is that apparently Vine 2.0 is coming into existence with DVine. Honestly, that's a cute name. I am happy that a sequel to Vine is coming to existence, but the other part of me wished that it didn't come, just because the phrase of Vine 2.0 would have been a great segue to the TikTok section of this video. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I guess you could say that joke fell off the I'm gonna go check myself out. Still, I honestly haven't really kept up with the Vine, but honestly I hope it goes well. Vine may be kind of dead, but we still have it in our hearts. I cannot believe I just said that about a social media platform all about releasing 6-second videos, but you know what, I've said worse things in my life. But yeah, if it isn't obvious, I'd like to when Vine was around. I am slightly mad that the platform I am most positive towards in this video is no longer with us anymore. But hey, that's what you get when instead of having AI stopping politics stuff down your throat every day, all you really have are funny and cool videos. Now before we move on to the final social media platform I would like to talk about today in this video, I would like to talk about a certain one I purposely left absent from this video. That being YouTube itself. I was at one point planning on ending this video talking about YouTube. I felt like it was only fitting considering that it's literally the site you were watching this video on. But after some time thinking about it, I realized that as a YouTuber myself, I would definitely have way too much to say about YouTube to fit into one section of this video. So, unlike Vine, I would probably one day make a solo video just about YouTube instead of trying to cram all the things I have to say about it into a small section in this video. If you guys would be interested in seeing that video one day, make sure to leave it in the comment section below. But since I'm not talking about YouTube, I might as well talk about the next best platform to end this video on, that being TikTok. TikTok is a video sharing platform that was made. Well, I don't need to explain what TikTok is to you all. It's an app that's basically YouTube, but every single video is vertical. It being so successful is why apps like YouTube decide to rip it off for things like YouTube Shorts. But I don't know anybody who abuses YouTube Shorts. No, don't look, don't look, don't look. So thank you TikTok, it's going great. Still, even if I did act like I just hated TikTok, I can't deny that I do use it a lot. I used to use it sort of when it was Musical.ly. Does anybody else remember when TikTok was called that? Oh, that's just me who remembers Musical.ly, great. But still, I only really use TikTok to watch things like animal videos, but I still do use it admittedly. And I will say that even though animal videos aren't that deep or anything like that, that's at least better than watching those videos that just have a text-to-speech voice reading a Reddit thread over Subway Surfers or Minecraft parkour or something like that. Man, maybe I get why people don't like TikTok that much saying that out loud. I also hate those TikToks that are about kids shows I swear only I remember, and some of the things in the video are shows like Sesame Street or Barney the Dinosaur. Does anybody else know those TikToks, or was this my For You page just ruined for a bit? Yeah, it was probably just mine, but I had to get that off my chest. But for real, besides that, I like TikTok admittedly. I would probably find it weird if I absolutely hated TikTok while clearly liking YouTube so much, but if somebody else didn't like TikTok, I would understand. I really just get mad at TikTok whenever somebody comes up with a good committee before I do! But for real, I do enjoy TikTok alongside YouTube too. Hell, I'll say that if I wasn't here on YouTube, I'll probably be making rant videos on TikTok instead. It would just suck and I doubt my long rants would be able to hold the attention of the people over there. But hey, TikTok is cool. I'm just thankful that not everybody migrated over there yet, so I can still get some views over here on YouTube. And that's all I wanted to talk about with social media platforms today. While there are more I could have possibly talked about with MySpace, Tumblr, or Pinterest, I have never personally used any of them, so I would find it inappropriate to talk about them personally. But still, even though social media may not be the greatest thing ever, it's still a giant part of our world that we can't really get rid of. It's just like your kids, you just gotta deal with them even though you don't really want to. But still, that's all I really felt like I could talk about with social media. Normally, I would probably say there's a ton more to this topic to talk about, and if you wanted a part 2, I'll make it. But honestly, I feel like I talked about everything I wanted to talk about in terms of social media today. The only platform I really have a significant amount to say that I didn't talk about would be YouTube. But like I said earlier, YouTube is something I could talk about for so long that I wouldn't feel right trying to cram it all into one simple section in one video. So maybe one day I could talk about YouTube in general, just don't expect it anytime soon. Still, I'm off to go continuously doom scroll on Twitter and TikTok. See you all later, have a great day.